Today on Judge Faith. High school BFFs find their friendship at a standstill after a ticket fails to get one of them into a 5 Seconds of Summer concert.
They've got to meet Ed Sheeran, Cody Simpson. They met 5 Seconds of Summer. Nicole couldn't get in the concert.
I took my niece to this concert. My hearing will never be the same.
She wouldn't even listen to me talking. She was screaming and hanging up.
I said, I can't believe you gave my daughter a fake ticket, you cow, and I hung up on her.
Danielle's mom sold me an effing fake ticket, and she's like going on and on with all these inappropriate texts.
Yes, I was freaking out because
it's 5 Seconds of Summer, and you don't want to miss 5 seconds of the concert.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Defendant Sharon Barton says her teenage daughter gave the defendant money for a 5 Seconds of Summer concert ticket that didn't work. She's suing for a concert ticket. She's accompanied in court today by her daughter, Nicole Martin. Defendant Diane Onesto says she doesn't know because Nicole was rude and refused to listen when she was told that an extra ticket was at the box office. She's accompanied in court today by her daughter, Danielle Onesto.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Martin versus Onesto.
Thank you, Juan. Sharon Martin,
Yes, Your Honor.
you were suing the defendant Diane Onesto
Yes.
for $76, the cost of a concert ticket to see 5 Seconds of Summer?
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me what's going on here. What happened?
Well, the girls met in 9th grade. They enjoy going to concerts, meeting celebrities. I've picked the girls up at school, taken them to the radio station. I won meet and greet for B. Miller. Diane has picked up the girls from school, taken them to concerts. They've got to meet Ed Sheeran, Cody Simpson. They met 5 Seconds of Summer at the airport when they did open up for One Direction the previous year.
Okay, got it. I took my niece to this concert like a year ago, and my hearing will never be the same.
So it wasn't unusual for the girls to do a lot of concerts together. About a year ago, they found out that 5 Seconds of Summer was coming to the Atlanta area. So my daughter, Nicole, gave Diane $75.50 out of her own hard-earned money for a ticket to the concert.
Okay, and you purchased the tickets to the concert, ma'am?
I did purchase
How
the
many
tickets.
tickets did you purchase?
I purchased 2 tickets, one for Danielle, one for Nicole. And it was Nicole gave me the money. I purchased the tickets actually on August 6th of 2014. Mm-hmm. And then the following day, when I was picking Nicole up because we would drive her to school in the morning, Nicole gave me her baggie of her little money. And then I had given her a copy of her ticket, yes.
Okay, so you gave her the ticket, she gave you the money, no problem there. And you've done this before where you would buy tickets for the girls.
I'm the mom that usually buys the tickets. I take them stalking. We spend the night in the hotel we have with Nicole. We've chased the various, One Direction, 5 Seconds of Summer, Cody Simpson, Ed Sheeran, like following them after the concert so the girls could meet them. And
okay, let me see the photos you submitted. I understand you wanted to show me photos.
Yeah, this is Cody Simpson.
Where was this, at the airport?
No, we went to his concert and then we followed him to his hotel.
Oh, okay. It's Ed Sheeran. Where'd you get this?
We went to his concert and then we followed him to his hotel too.
We were chasing him down the highway and we jumped out.
So how do you know what car they're in? You just wait and see?
We've learned from experience.
Okay, so you're the cool mom of the group.
I'm the cool mom.
And so what ends up happening on August 5th? So it's a year, you buy the tickets 1 year in advance. Now when you show up to the concert, tell me what happens. How do you get there? What's the arrangement?
I was supposed to go with the Onesto family, but a few days before, they said that they couldn't give me a ride because Danielle and her friend were going to get upgrades for their tickets. and I wasn't part of that plan.
They didn't have room in their car because they were getting upgrades? I don't understand
That's
that.
not exactly the way it happened.
What did they tell you?
They said that we are getting upgrades and you can't ride with us.
Okay, what's going on here?
Coming up, the 5 seconds of summer situation goes from bad to worse.
What happens when you show up on the date of the concert to get in?
They said, your ticket has been refunded.
I'm not there. She cannot get into this venue. I don't know what's going on.
Her ticket wasn't refunded.
But her ticket didn't work.
Plaintiff Sharon Barton says Diane sold her daughter an invalid 5 seconds of summer concert ticket. She's suing for a concert ticket. Defendant Diane Onesto says she doesn't know because an extra ticket was at the box office for Nicole.
Okay, what's going on here? What happened?
Okay, so me, my friend, and Nicole were in a group chat. Me and my friend are going to the concert separately from Nicole
But why?
because
Because y'all were good friends.
an incident happened at my house and Nicole was no longer welcome.
Okay, so you're not friends at this point.
No.
Okay, does she know that?
Oh, she knows very well. She was no longer welcome in our house. I didn't want Danielle basically to have any contact.
So you tell her at this point she can't ride to the concert
No.
with you, but you already have your ticket, so that's fine.
We told her that we had different seats for the concert, and my friend asked her, how are you getting there? And she said, my mom. So
Did you have upgrades though? Did you
Yes.
get your tickets upgraded? So the two of you weren't sitting together anymore?
No.
Because originally you were?
Yes.
How did you get the upgrade?
I contacted my friend who is a production manager for the amphitheater. So he told me to send him a copy of Danielle's ticket, which I did. And he said that the venue would basically refund me for Danielle's ticket.
Okay, so hold on a second. You got 2 new tickets because you wanted them to be able to sit in an entirely different section.
entirely different
And it would
section.
now be Danielle and her friend sitting together, and she would be with whoever. I mean,
Correct.
So what happens when you show up on the date of the concert to get in?
Well, when I went with the new group that I was going with, 2 of them already walked into the venue, and the ladies who were the ones scanning the tickets, they scanned mine around 3 or 4 times, and it said that there was a problem. They said, your ticket has been refunded, and you will have to buy your own ticket.
Did you end up buying a ticket to get in the
Yes,
concert?
because we waited for 20 to 30 minutes, and Diane did not show up to the box office.
Did you call her?
I called Danielle. She said, my mother didn't sell your ticket, and so then she hung up on me.
Did you call your mom from the concert?
Yes, I called my mom from the box office.
Did you call her?
Diane called me about 7 and said that Nicole couldn't get in the concert with her ticket. And I admitted, I said, I can't believe you gave my daughter a fake ticket, you cow, and I hung up on her so that I could get a hold of Nick. I was worried. My daughter's in Southwest Atlanta. I'm not there. She cannot get into this venue. I don't know what's going on.
So she shows up to go to the concert. She can't get in. They tell her the ticket has been refunded. According to your testimony, that's what you did, right? So why don't you feel like you owe her for the ticket? She had to buy a new ticket at the concert.
Because her ticket wasn't refunded. When I had went to the
But her
box-
ticket didn't work.
Right, and I don't know what the issue was there,
But clearly you understand that a mix-up has taken place, right? Because her ticket doesn't work.
And that's
because
right.
you went in and made some different arrangements. Maybe the box office made a mistake, but it's clear that it's not her mistake.
Oh, that's right, definitely. And so she started actually texting Danielle's friend first, saying, Danielle's mom sold me an effing fake ticket, and she's like going on and on with all these inappropriate texts.
Let me ask you something. But before you get to that, the night of the concert, how do you try to resolve this when you find out that she can't get in the venue and she's stranded?
Nicole calls me screaming at me that she has a fake ticket, and I said, Nicole, we just went to the box office. We saw that your 2 tickets are there. And if you would, she wouldn't even listen to me talking. She was screaming and hanging up. And I was like, my mom's here. She can go get your ticket. We know that the ticket's there. We just saw it. And
So why didn't you do that?
Because she wouldn't meet us there. She was screaming.
She was.
What do you say happened?
I was at the front box office, right where the gate was, and I called Danielle. Yes, I was freaking out because
Because it's 5 seconds of summer and you don't want to miss 5 seconds of the concert. I understand.
I bought a ticket with my own money that I worked for, and it wouldn't let me in. It wasn't even my mom's money, it was mine.
But you called her, and what did she tell you
She
about
said,
the box office?
my mom didn't do anything to your ticket, and then she was the one who hung up.
And
Did they ever tell you, go to the box office to try to get, there's a ticket at will call?
They said go to the box office, and I was already there. I was waiting, and they never showed up.
Well, see, here's the issue, because why does she have to do that? She has a ticket that she's purchased from you to get into the concert, and she can't get in.
Right.
If you knew that her ticket wouldn't work and that she would have to go to will call,
I didn't know that.
Right, because you would have told her in advance.
That's right.
So clearly there's a mix-up. She can't get into the concert. I don't understand why you don't come down to try to get it resolved.
Because Nicole would never stop yelling and listen to the fact. So then I tried calling.
So?
And Your Honor,
The point is that she never gave me the opportunity, or Danielle the opportunity. I did not know she was at the box office. All of this was going on between Danielle, her friend, and Nicole.
But you knew she couldn't get into the concert, and all this text messaging between the two of you, and you can't send her a text and say, hey, you said she hung up, you can't send her a text. Oh, I know what's happening. You're in the concert. You're like, I'm enjoying myself, and I can't be bothered.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the mothers disagree about who's responsible for the unfortunate friendship fail.
Diane decided to go ahead and start disparaging my daughter.
And Nicole was using very inappropriate language.
Of course she's yelling. Of course, I don't understand why that's so shocking to anyone. She's at the concert and she can't get in and she's upset. And she's a teenager. That's what kids do.
Plaintiff Sharon Martin says Diane refused to reimburse her for a replacement 5 seconds of summer concert ticket. She's suing for a concert ticket. Defendant Diane Onesto says she doesn't owe because she had arranged for an extra ticket that was waiting for Nicole at the box office.
At this point, when Danielle called me and said, Nicole cannot get into the concert, and I'm trying to tell her to call you because there's more than one box office at the
but
venue.
can I ask you this? Clearly, this brings me back to issue number one. She had a ticket that she purchased that she was supposed to just be able to scan and walk into the venue.
Right.
She could not do that.
Right.
Clearly, it's because you went back, you got them 2 new tickets, and there was some kind of mix-up.
Correct.
Even if you didn't do it intentionally, if there was an accident, she didn't do anything wrong. She's not
didn't.
responsible. Why don't you think you owe her, and she had to buy a new ticket that day. Why don't you think you owe her the $75? Because she was irrational, because she was screaming.
No.
I mean, that's what all these girls do at these concerts, right? They're screaming, they're irrational.
She never gave me, I never knew that she was waiting at the box office. I called as soon as Danielle called me and told me.
Okay, but now you know. Now we're here in court.
Okay.
Months have passed.
Right.
Right? They contact you afterwards. They tell you, we had to purchase a ticket.
Right.
Why do you feel you weren't responsible to refund them the $75?
If I would have been given the opportunity to meet them at the box office, but they wouldn't.
How did you feel left stranded out there at the concert?
I felt awful, mainly because I looked up to Danielle. She was my best friend, and then my ticket doesn't work when I bought it from her family, and there's nothing I can do. So
She's telling Danielle that. Danielle calls me. So I hang up the phone immediately and I call Sharon thinking that she is outside the gate
but
with
I
Nicole.
was not.
Okay, can you show me the text messages you wanted
Yes,
to show
ma'am.
me?
And I texted her that Nikki had paid the $75 for the ticket and I'd like it back. And instead of Diane focusing on that issue, she was not focusing on, she left my daughter down in Southwest Atlanta without a ticket to go into a venue. Diane decided to go ahead and start disparaging my daughter, giving innuendos and things like that about something that happened months prior to that.
Did you do that?
I did not, no.
Ma'am, you got the text right there.
Well, I have the text as well, the text that saying with Nicole saying she didn't answer, what the and I told Nicole, I was on the phone with your mother, that's the reason I didn't answer. And Nicole was using very inappropriate language.
So were you.
May I see your text messages?
Yes, and there's some additional that we weren't able to print off that they had said we could just show you on the phone.
Okay, so these are text messages the night of the concert you're trying to get in to get your ticket.
Yes, I was trying to contact Danielle, but she would not answer, so.
I would answer, but you were yelling at me.
Of course she's yelling. Of course, I don't understand why that's so shocking to anyone. She's at the concert and she can't get in and she's upset. And she's a teenager, that's what kids do. You said that you didn't know that night that she would have to go to the box office to get her ticket.
I didn't,
But
because
when
her ticket was still supposed to work. Her ticket, we did nothing to it.
She shouldn't have to go to the box office. And number
Correct,
two,
I
if she
agree.
goes to the box office, it doesn't help her. There are no tickets at the box office associated with her name.
I agree, that's
and
why
I'm trying to
I
understand
needed
why
to
you
be
don't see
there.
you don't owe her this money.
Along those same lines, if you continue,
I mean,
if
you're
you
giving,
read the text,
there are all these instructions. You got to go to the box office. You have to do this. You have to do that. No, she has a ticket. She pays $75 for it. The only thing she has to do is walk in there and go to the concert.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
all of the other stuff aside, the next morning I texted.
No, it's not all the other stuff aside. That's the issue. That's why we're here. Everything you're telling me is an excuse, but is not a legal defense as to why you don't owe her for the ticket that she paid for and she couldn't get into the concert for. She had to buy another ticket to get into the concert.
She didn't have to buy another
Yes, she did.
ticket.
Yes,
No.
she did.
No,
yes,
she did not.
Because, and here's what you reply, and you tell her at some point, I purchased 2 tickets, one for Danielle, one for Nicole. Danielle's ticket was upgraded by a friend. Nicole's was not. If the venue refunded the ticket Nicole had, then that was a mistake.
That was not my text. That was from Danielle's friend. The next morning I texted Nicole and her mother saying that if my friend can get a refund on the ticket that was never used, that I would at that time refund them the money. And I got a text back from Nicole's mom.
Right, but that's not an option for you. It doesn't matter if your friend gets a refund for the ticket or not. You still owe them for the ticket that didn't work.
Because her ticket was
Oh
there.
yeah, you do, and it's my decision to make that, and I'm saying you do.
Okay.
And I'm saying you do.
Okay.
You want them to jump through hoops. You want her to go to the concert and have to jump through hoops to get in. She doesn't have to do that. She paid you $75 for a ticket that didn't work. The
Right.
analysis really stops there. Due to no fault of her own, the
Or
ticket
of
did not
mine.
work. She paid $75 of her own money to get into the concert, and she couldn't, so she had to pay out of her pocket additional money to get in. I don't understand why this is not crystal clear to you.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
All right, here's what we're going to do. You're going to refund her the money for the ticket in addition to the court costs. It's interesting, your court costs are $100. The ticket was only $76. You understand why you filed the lawsuit. It should not have had to come to this. It really didn't. Ms. Ernesto, and I've noticed during the case that you've been laughing, smirking with your daughter, and I'm just curious because I don't find anything about what happened to be funny. 16-year-old at a concert without her parents, no ticket, no way to get in. If I were her parents, I would have been angry and freaking out. So I don't think anything about this case or the testimony is funny today. And I know some people laugh sometimes because it's nervous laughter, but I think it's disrespectful. And I think you are representing in front of your daughter in a very poor manner because when you come to court, you're standing before a judge, you show some respect. And you teach your daughter how to behave if she ever has to come to court and stand before a judge. $76 just before the plaintiff, in addition to your court costs. Good luck.
You know, this wasn't about, we were more than happy to give them the money, and that it's just ridiculous that it had to come to this.
I learned to be more open towards people and to just treat people kindly because that wasn't given to me. I did not feel any kindness from that family.
Today on Judge Faith, exes in a tumultuous relationship find themselves back on the battleground over an unpaid loan.
It was a rocky relationship, a lot of cheating and going on. We would separate, he'll find Christ, we'll get back together.
So he would cheat, go to church, come back, cheat again, but then go back to church, and it was a cycle.
Do I become more devoted? Yes, but it's not because of cheating. God will work the situation out.
God will work it out? What did God say about you going to the house, throwing her barbecue grill over the fence?
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Shatana Nevels says she loaned her ex-husband money to fix his truck. But after her new boyfriend moved in, her ex refused to pay. She's suing for the balance on a personal loan and a headset. Defendant Jermond Nevels says he doesn't owe because he paid off the loan and wanted to make his marriage last. But Shatana wasn't on the same page.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Nevels versus Nevels.
Thank you, Juan. Shatana Nevels?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant, Jermond Nevels,
Yes.
for $1,740 you say he owes you for a personal loan and a headset you say
Yes.
he destroyed?
Yes.
Okay, and I understand that Mr. Nevels is your ex-husband.
Yes.
When did the two of you get divorced?
December 2013.
Okay, so why don't you just start from the beginning and tell me why you brought this lawsuit against him?
It was from a payment for a personal loan that I got for him to fix on a Tahoe truck that I previously got a loan for him.
You say a taco truck?
A Tahoe. It was for a Tahoe.
Oh, a Tahoe.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. It was for.
Listen, I thought he had a food truck.
Sorry. Yes, it was for.
Legitimate question. Okay.
Yes, it was for. It was for a Tahoe. I had got him a loan to get a truck. He paid the loan off, but the truck needed some work after he hadn't had it for a while. So he said he needed a transmission and some other work done on the truck. But because his credit is bad, so because I was his wife and everything, so I got the loan for him to fix on the Tahoe.
Do the two of you have kids together?
We have 2 boys,
How old are they?
15 and 13.
How long were the two of you married?
10 years.
I'm just trying to get some background on the two of you. Tell me about how your relationship was before you got divorced.
It was a rocky relationship, up and down, a lot of cheating and going on. So back and forth, we would separate. He'll find Christ. We'll get back together. He would start going to church and everything will be fine. We'll get back together. Things work out for a couple of months and then it'll be the same cycle all over again.
So he would cheat, go to church, come back, cheat again, but then go back to church and it was a cycle.
Yes.
What do you have to say about that, sir?
It's not a cycle.
Did you cheat?
I have cheated on her, yes.
And would you go to church and then go back to her and say, I'm a changed man?
Before I, came to Christ, I was doing basically my own thing.
Okay, but after that, which was
after
when?
That, I moved in with her in 2006.
Okay. You said that's when you changed for the better.
Yes.
Okay, good
but
for you.
it seemed as if it never got recognized.
Okay, you said it wasn't recognized. So
It was always because, like I say, 3 months after we got married, I was trying to get annulment, but I couldn't get annulment because we was in Florida.
why 3 months after?
Because, like I say, the night we got married, like I said, he was passed out drunk, and one of his girlfriends called the phone playing on the phone, and then it was like, she was like, oh, they were just playing.
You had 2 kids with him already?
Yes.
And this was on your wedding night?
Yes. So it has been since the beginning of the relationship. It's always been some other female. It's always been, but like
Well, he said it was in 2006 when he changed, so he admits he made those mistakes prior to that.
2006. No. Okay.
So he said in 2006 he changed, but why are we here today? I mean, what has been, so you got divorced in 2013.
Yes.
Have the two of you been able to remain friends and co-parent? Who do the kids live with?
The kids live with me.
Does he pay child support?
He stopped paying.
When?
He stopped paying in August when when he realized that I was being serious with I have a boyfriend.
Is that true?
No, it's not correct.
Did you stop paying child support in August?
No, I have not.
You're still paying child support?
Yes, I
Why does
am.
she say you've stopped?
Because she hasn't received it yet.
Okay, why is that? Why is that?
The reason she hasn't received it because she went down to the child support people and told them she wants to receive it directly from my check.
Okay.
So that's what is going on.
So you're saying it's in limbo right now?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about, you're suing for 2 things. A loan and a Bluetooth headset you say he damaged and destroyed.
Yes.
Okay, tell me about the personal loan first. When was that made and what was the agreement?
The $3,500 was for work on the Tahoe.
Did you take out a loan or did you have
Yes.
money?
No, I didn't have the money, so I took out the loan for him because his credit is bad.
Has he paid any of the, and I'll hear your side of this, but has he paid any of the $3,500 back
Yes,
to you?
he was making all the payments until he found out that I had a boyfriend. And then when he found out I had a boyfriend, he stopped making the payment. He said, tell your boyfriend to make the payments.
Did you say that?
That's not true.
Did you say that?
I asked her for the proof of the payment. I asked her to get the statement from the bank.
But how do you not know how much you owe if you've been making payments? Aren't you keeping track of that?
Yes.
So what's the problem? Why stop making payments altogether?
Because I believe that the loan is paid off, Your Honor.
Coming up, were the exes really over?
He looks at my boyfriend, he tells him, I'm here to get my family back. I'm just letting you know. And he looks at him and tells him that.
Oh, you left that part out.
She told me that he was just a friend.
No, because I asked you about 5 minutes ago if you had any problem with the new boyfriend. You like, no big deal.
Plaintiff Shatana Nevels says Jermond damaged her property and is refusing to pay back a loan. She's suing for the balance on a personal loan and a headset. Defendant Jermond Nevels says he doesn't owe because he paid off the loan and doesn't know anything about the damaged property.
May I see your paperwork for the loan, the outstanding balance? So, but you say you've never missed a month and you've made these payments. Why couldn't you
Correct.
just add it up?
I didn't try.
She told you that you still owed on the loan, right?
And she told me I owed 17 payments also. I could do a little math, and I know that that's not correct.
So this is not about the boyfriend, because all of a sudden you just stopped making payments, and this is not about the boyfriend?
No, it's not.
You didn't tell her? What do you think about her boyfriend?
I don't think anything of him.
You don't dislike him?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
And have you told her that?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't like him.
Yes.
You do think something about him. You don't like him. Why don't you like him?
Because he called me on the phone and voiced his opinion about my parental, how I parent my children.
Okay.
And that's a no.
What did he say to you?
I don't know his exact words, but something of, I need to be worried about the kids and not her. And,
Oh, so he thinks that you still like her.
Yes.
So that's not about parenting. That's about your relationship with her.
Correct.
Okay, let's just be clear about that.
No.
Wait, so you're still interested in her?
No.
Mother's Day. Mother's Day, I was at home. I was sitting at home. And Mr. Nevels pulled up in my yard. Okay. My boyfriend's car was in the yard. Mr. Nevels came across my neighbor's yard in the car.
Across the yard?
Yes, he drove across the yard. He comes in, he has roses and stuff in his hand. My boyfriend is sitting there. He looks at my boyfriend, he tells him, I'm here to get my family back. I'm just letting you know. And he looks at him and tells him that. I'm like, okay, what else? So I didn't say anything.
Oh, you left that part out.
I can elaborate on that part.
You showed up with roses on Mother's Day, driving across people's lawns.
With her permission.
Saying,
Today on Judge Faith, a motorcycle owner makes a trade for a boat and now wants the court to call it off.
I went on Craigslist and just typed in boat trade for motorcycle, and Mr. Chapman's name popped up, and he had a boat that he was willing to trade.
I've seen him plenty of text messages and pictures and stuff several times before I took the boat, and even right before I left with the boat, and he said to bring it on.
Did you have any indication whatsoever that it had all of these problems?
And later, a tenant claims his landlord took advantage of him when he needed help the most.
I had no idea that this was a sober living facility.
He said, well, the last place I left, they paid me $1,400 to leave. And I said, well, what would you like me to do with that information? He said, that's what you're gonna do.
If there's an infestation of bed bugs, those people cannot be there.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Philip Bota says he traded his motorcycle for the defendant's boat, but later discovered the boat had major issues. He's suing for the value of a boat. Defendant Stephen Chapman says he owes nothing because the deal was an as-is trade, and Philip is suffering from buyer's remorse. He's accompanied in court today by his wife, Sarah Chapman.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Botha versus Chapman.
Thank you, Juan. Philip Bota,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are suing the defendant, Stephen Chapman,
Yes, ma'am.
for $5,000, the value of a boat you say you purchased from him?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so why don't you start from the beginning and tell me what happened? This was a Craigslist
Yes, that's
sale?
correct, Your Honor, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Your Honor, July 4th of this year, me and my family went down to the beach on the Florida Panhandle, and me and my 6-year-old daughter had so much fun on a boat that upon returning to Atlanta, I decided to obtain my own boat. We didn't want to spend any cash on a boat, so I decided to trade my motorcycle. And I went on Craigslist and just typed in boat trade for motorcycle, and Mr. Chapman's name popped up, and he had a boat that he was willing to trade.
Okay, so you want to do an even trade?
Yes.
Your motorcycle for his boat?
That's correct.
Okay, what kind of motorcycle do you own?
It's a Yamaha VMAX.
Let me look at the photo you submitted to court.
And that thing is babied and custom and polished and taken care of almost better than I take care of my daughters. It stands.
Okay.
So he drove the boat up from Noonan, Georgia to my home.
Okay,
and,
what kind of boat did you own, sir?
It was a 1978 16-foot Procraft bass boat.
Okay.
And I told him everything that was wrong with the boat as far as the water pump. It needed a water pump, and he wanted to trade, so he said, and I quote, his own words were, bring her on up.
Bring her on up.
So I loaded the boat up and I took it to him.
Okay. How long had you owned the boat?
About a month and a half, 2 months.
A month and a half? Why such a short period of time?
Because I had traded for it also.
Do you have the ad from Craigslist by any chance?
No, I don't.
Do you?
I do not, Your Honor. It's
Okay, what's the
expired.
value of your bike?
It's $6,000, Your Honor.
$6,000.
$4,000, Your Honor.
What?
$4,000.
$4,000?
Kelly Blue
All
Book
right.
is $4,000.
Actually, he's right. The value of your bike I had Wanda look this up before the case, the Blue Book value is about $4,000 in excellent condition. In fair condition, the bike would be about $2,490.
Your Honor, it's a completely custom motorcycle. It's got a $2,000 stretch job on it. It's lowered. The tires alone are $600.
You decided you wanted to make an even trade for
that's
the
correct.
bike. So what happens? Why are you suing him for the value of the boat?
Yeah, so I knew that the water pump needed to be replaced, and I went down to the motor the next morning on the 24th, and as I was looking at the water pump, I saw that the transom, which is the part of the boat that actually holds the engine up, is completely broken.
Okay.
And somebody had done like a cheap fiberglass job to try and fix it. Now, if the transom is broken, the boat is almost worthless because the engine will just flop over in the water.
So you just looked down and were able to see that?
Yes, and I've got
And
pictures.
so why didn't you make that examination before you decided to trade your motorcycle for his boat?
Your Honor, because I'm a boat newbie.
Coming up, was the trade a bad deal or just an unfortunate decision?
He told me that it was perfectly running.
There's a word for this. It's called buyer's remorse.
And later, a landlord claims her former tenant moved bugs in with his bed.
He brought his bed, his mattress that is dirty and nasty.
Bed bugs was all in my stuff. Roaches also was all in my stuff.
Plaintiff Philip Boda says the trade was unfair. He's suing for the value of a boat. Defendant Stephen Chapman says he owes nothing because Philip is suffering from buyer's remorse.
You didn't have anyone come over and take a look at the boat before you made the trade,
I had
right?
somebody do that later.
Right.
When I started suspecting that there was a problem.
Because the sale is already done.
Yeah.
You know it's an as-is sale, right? But the default position in the law is this trade that the two of you make is as-is. So someone telling you there's a problem with the water pump, but I don't think there's anything else wrong with it. In your mind, you think that they're making a specific warranty to you, but they're not. That's just their opinion. And that's why these sales are buyer beware, because if you choose to buy, you have to beware of what you're buying, and it's absolutely up to you to make sure before you buy it that it's in the condition that you want it to be in. There's a word for this, it's called buyer's remorse. I have a question for you. Did you have any indication whatsoever, you took the boat out, you got rid of it after a month and a half, did you have any indication whatsoever that it had all of these problems?
No, ma'am. The transom was not broke when I left the boat with him. Me and him stood at the motor, right behind the motor, and looked at the boat all over, and it was fine. There was nothing wrong with that boat but the water pump.
Yes, we took it out for our vacation to use it with the kids and stuff, and that's when he realized that the water pump was broken on it.
I sent him plenty of text messages and pictures and stuff several times before I took the boat, and even right before I left with the boat, and he said to bring it on.
It was 3 or 4 days they were going back and forth, and
he
all
knew
sorts
everything about the boat before I left.
Yes.
So there was a lot of
several days
exchanging of text messages and information.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we have a lot of text messages on it. He told me that boat is a 4-stroke motor, but it's actually a 2-stroke motor.
He didn't know anything about it.
He didn't know anything about the boat, Your Honor.
He didn't know anything about it.
So he told me that it was perfectly running boat.
Your case is dismissed, sir. This is an as-is sale. I can't undo an as-is sale or an as-is trade. You did not do your due diligence before you bought the boat, and that's your biggest problem in this case. I feel bad for you because, you know, he probably got the better end of the deal. I believe what you're saying when you say the boat isn't functioning properly, but you have to do your due diligence before you make a trade like this, sir. Judgment in this case for the defendant.
Thank you. If I ever find myself in this position again, which I never will, I need to make sure that I had done my due diligence, that I had done research.
The next time he trades for something, he needs to really look at things before he decides to trade.
Plaintiff Carl Shandell says he rented a room from the defendant and was attacked by bed bugs. He's suing for stolen money, medical bills, and property damage. He's accompanied in court today by his mother, Sandra Vanderhorst. Defendant Kenya Kirkland says she owes nothing because Carl brought the bed bugs with him, and he's trying to scam her out of money. She's countersuing for the cost of pest control.
Carl Shandell.
Yes, ma'am.
You were suing the defendant, Kenya Kirkland?
Correct.
For $5,000.
Yes.
You say she owes you.
Yes.
I understand that you lived in a sober living facility that you run, ma'am?
Yes.
You said during the time that you were living there, your property was damaged, you had money stolen from you, you had to go to the hospital because of bed bugs, so you're
Yes,
suing for
ma'am.
your medical expenses, and you're suing for almost $3,000 in emotional distress as well, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are countersuing, ma'am, for $2,000 for pest control expenses? Correct. Okay, so I'll start with you, sir. Why don't we start from the beginning? You tell me how you ended up living in this facility.
So I was living with my sister, and I ended up getting into an argument with her about her boyfriend. I told her I didn't think she should be with him, and she told me it didn't matter to her what I thought. She was gonna be with him, so I grabbed my stuff, I hopped in my car, I left. I was living in my car for maybe about 4 or 5 days. I looked on Craigslist. I looked for a single studio or single apartment. I found a guy who had a move-in special. He didn't have any property available. He gave me another person's number, who then gave me Kenya Kirkland's number.
That's how you met her.
Yes, ma'am.
And moved into the facility. Why don't you tell me
I get a lot of
version?
referrals from the county, which is they have a program called the Pilot Program, and they pay tenants for housing. That's how he was referred to me.
Let me ask you something. Were you in a program that helped you find housing or helped pay for your housing?
Not initially. When I moved into her house, I paid her out of my pocket, and she made the statement. I have the card.
But this is a sober living facility?
I had no idea that this was a sober living facility.
But you didn't sign a lease before you moved in?
I did, which I never got a copy of, and I didn't read the lease before I signed it.
You didn't read it?
No, ma'am.
Why?
I was under the person, the manager that gave me the lease told me that it was an emergency. I grabbed the lease, and he know I didn't read the lease.
No. I won't accept that, sir. I won't accept that because it's your responsibility before you sign any paperwork, before you hand over any money, to know what you're signing.
Yes, ma'am.
And let me see, do you have a copy of the lease? May I see it, please?
I do. Would you also like the referral that I got from his case manager as well?
You have a case manager?
I am a part of the pilot program.
Well, okay, that's what I was asking you, if you were a part of a program. How are you a part of this program? And you say—
I was on GR. I'm a recipient of general relief.
Okay. And so how do you not know what this is? It says a Step to Freedom Residential Treatment Facility.
My fault.
That is the title of this document,
Completely
sir.
my fault. Every contract that I've seen since then, believe me.
No, Mr. Shandell, I don't believe you when you say you didn't read this and you didn't know what it was. I don't believe you.
Coming up on Judge Faith, a mother provides insight into her son's situation.
Did you know that he was sleeping in his car?
After your children get to a certain age, they need to not keep coming home.
Plaintiff Carl Shandell says it was unbearable living in Kenya's complex. He's suing for stolen money, medical bills, and property damage. Defendant Kenya Kirkland says she owes nothing because Carl is trying to scam her. She's countersuing for the cost of pest control.
He was looking for an apartment. I said, sir, this is not apartment living. I said, this is a sober living. You will have a room, but this is a sober living program. And he goes on to say—
But how does he qualify for sober living if he's not a recovering addict?
I'm not.
As long as you are not using drugs and alcohol on the premises, or
you can live you can choose to live in a sober living facility.
You can choose to live in there.
Got it.
That
I
is your choice. And I explained to him—
How much did he give you when he moved in?
$400, and that's the part I wanted to get to. I said, I'll let you come in for $500 because it's the 8th of the month. When he got there, he told me he had the $500 all the way up until he got there. And then he said, oh, I only have $400. So I said, you know what? I will go ahead and allow you to come in for $400 if you promise to pay the additional $100. He said, before the week is out. At that point, when the week was out and that $100 was due, that's when the drama started.
Would you step over, ma'am? And how are you related to the plaintiff?
My name is Sandra Vanderhorst. I'm Carl's mother.
Okay. Did you know that he was sleeping in his car?
Yes.
Okay, and why wouldn't he be able to live with you if he was homeless at the time?
No.
And he's bounced around to several places.
After your children get to a certain age, they need to not keep coming home. This is what I'm trying to teach him. Mama has a life too. Okay? So for that reason, and I am here because I'm a mom. I step up. I'm right there, right beside him. Every step of the way that he's went through, what he's went through since he's moved into this house. I don't know how anybody stays in this house.
Well, what happened? What did you witness? What did you see?
There was no bed in that room when I looked at it.
Okay, and why do you say he moved the bed out?
There are rules that state, do not move our furniture. Do not bring anything unapproved. He brought his mattress that is dirty and nasty into the house.
I did bring
into the room. Into the
house? Eventually, I did bring my mattress into the house. Yes, ma'am.
Immediately. I definitely did a walkthrough
8 to 10 days.
Within 5 days of him being there, and there was a mattress there, and I was livid because I know that I told him do not bring anything in at that point. He even, when he started harassing me about bed bugs, he said, well, the last place I left, they paid me $1,400 to leave. And I said, well, what would you like me to do with that information? He said, that's what you're gonna do. You need to pay me $1,400. I said, that's what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna pay you for something you brought here.
Show me proof of your doctor's visits. The first time you went to the doctor,
and the first time
you have to get medication for bed bug bites.
And the first time I went to the doctor.
And when do you say he first told you about bed bugs?
The additional $100 that he was due to pay, right about when that money was due, is when he started complaining about bed bugs.
You know, Mr. Shandell, you provided me with a report from the doctor.
It defines
whatever you
cellulitis.
had, you didn't just get it in 2 days, according to this medical report, because I don't know what's going on here, but for you to move into that home and then 2 days later you're diagnosed, doesn't happen in 48 hours, sir.
You wouldn't think it did.
I want to know about the $1,400. Tell me about that conversation, where that number comes from.
On the 26th, I called her because bed bugs was all in my stuff. Roaches also was all in my stuff. She says $1,400 enough for you to find you somewhere to live. I had explained to Ms. King that,
Never.
which I ended
She
up
offered you
doing.
$1,400?
Yes, ma'am.
Never.
My question to you is, if she offered you $1,400 and the conditions were so bad, why didn't you take the money and leave?
I agreed to it. She never paid me, and later on that night, I got text messages here. I was getting bit up by bed bugs. That's how the 27th came along, and that doctor bill came along. She said she couldn't do nothing to the first.
Okay, you're losing me, and I'm losing patience right now.
Okay.
My question is simple.
I went and
Why
signed
didn't
an
you take...
affidavit to my caseworker, and that's what ticked her. I'm guessing that's what ticked her off. Everything we had agreed, it was fine.
You said you reported it to the caseworker?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
and
let
then
me see that.
The very next day I come home, my room was burglarized. We didn't know. I called the police as soon as I got there.
You have a police report?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened?
The police were present when I removed all of his things, set them aside of his van.
Why did you do that?
Because he was smoking marijuana on the premises.
That's
he
the
had
third.
a female.
And I wasn't smoking no marijuana.
You had the picture of the marijuana on his bed. I smelled marijuana very loudly as I was walking through the house. So at that point, I immediately called 911. I waited at the door, and at that point, I did not let him enter back onto the premises. All his belongings were alongside of his van. I have no use for anything that this man owns.
Okay, I've heard enough. I've heard enough. You have bed bugs now in the home, and you're blaming him.
He brought his mattress in with the bed bugs.
You know, and this has been, you say he brought in bed bugs. This is back in August. You haven't had the facility treated?
No, not
really?
yet.
So what proof do you have then? What proof do you have that there's an infestation?
Listen, oh, what proof? I
there's
saw
an infestation.
them. I saw them.
And but it's been over a month.
Yeah,
so
but
people
I
are
can't afford
living
it
there
right
with
at
the
moment.
infestation of bed bugs.
Right.
People are just living there with it. Okay, that can't happen.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
In this facility, if there's an infestation of bed bugs, those people cannot be there. Those people cannot live in that facility if there's an infestation of bed bugs. So if that is the case, that needs to be taken care of immediately. And the fact that you haven't done that is proof to me that there may not be this infestation that you claim. Your counterclaim is dismissed. Okay. Now I'm going to get to your case, Mr. Shandell.
Yes, ma'am.
I have several problems with your case, and it started from the first thing you came into court and told me today, which is you had no idea what kind of facility that you were moving into. You thought you were moving into an apartment, and it's only after you get there you find out that you're in a sober living facility. I know that not to be true. Second of all, on this agreement that you signed, that you acknowledged, there is a clause here on what items would be in your room: the bed, the end table, the wardrobe. And under no conditions can there be alcohol or drug use in the home.
It wasn't.
So I do believe that there was a bed in that room, but I also believe that you probably brought your own things, to try to bring your own mattress as well, as you stated. You're suing for medical expenses that you didn't pay and that you're not obligated to pay. My concern is there's one issue, and that is the issue of causation. I am not convinced that those bed bugs, that the cause of you getting those bed bugs was you moving into that facility on the 8th. You brought in the mattress in violation of the rules because your agreement states that there was a bed in the room. And you signed that agreement. And why should I believe there wasn't one when you signed an agreement stating that there was? I can't help you, sir. Your case is dismissed.
Thank you.
I don't got nothing to say to her. God gonna get you. It's all good. You got it way up in here, but God gonna get you, and you know you wrong.
I would like to suggest that he go get a job and actually maybe get an education and go after taking care of himself.
Today on Judge Faith, a tax attorney and his contractor disagree over the details of a loan repayment.
Stop talking down to me, stop belittling me, stop insulting me. When he started disrespecting me, I decided not to pay him.
So you're about to show me a contract between the two of you, something in writing.
Statute of frauds doesn't require me to.
I love how I have a tax attorney in my courtroom with the worst evidence I've probably ever seen. Don't tell me you're asking for your own fees.
And later, a Colorado mom helps her former roommate with his DUI expenses and then gets stuck with the bills.
I kept thinking in my mind that, you know, he's trying, he's gonna come up with the money.
She took the car away, so why should I pay for a car payment that was taken away from me?
If someone gets a DUI, I would never in a million years pay the fine because they have to learn their lesson about drinking and driving. That's not on you to pay that.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Scott Smith says the defendant had lots of problems and he was trying to help him out. He's suing for a personal loan, unfinished work, and attorney fees. Defendant Tommy Ussery says he owes nothing because Scott asked him to do odd jobs around his home, and he worked off the money he borrowed.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Smith versus Ussery.
Thank you, Juan. Scott Smith,
Yes, ma'am.
you are suing the defendant, Tommy Ussery,
Correct.
for $1,950 for a personal loan, unfinished work, and attorney's fees?
That's correct.
Okay, why don't we start with you, Mr. Smith? Tell me what's going on here.
We shouldn't even be here. This is a very simple case. I needed my bathroom to be remodeled, and so I went online and looked for a couple of contractors, one of whom was Mr. Ussery. He came over, got a couple bids. He was the best bid. I liked him the most. Great. He started working. This case is not about his work in any way, shape, or form. His work was fantastic. He did a
Really?
great job.
Okay.
So
Are you a contractor?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what you do? And you were remodeling his bathroom?
Correct.
Okay, and so you didn't know him?
No.
Prior to you hiring him. How did you find him?
Craigslist.
Okay.
That's where we find everything. I'm an attorney full-time.
Okay.
And part-time, I buy rental properties.
What kind of law do you practice?
Tax law. I'm a tax transactional attorney.
All right. So you're about to show me a contract between the two of you,
See?
something in writing.
You would
right?
think so.
About this loan?
Did
you say you gave him?
One might think so, except number one.
I know you know the law.
Yeah, the statute of frauds doesn't require me to, though.
No, it's not required, but it certainly helps when it comes to your burden of proof,
I
doesn't
agree.
it?
I agree.
What was the conversation you had with the defendant about the money you say you loaned him?
Okay, here's what happened. He's 2/3 of the way through this job. He came in late a couple times, and I said, hey, what's the story? Why are you later? And he says, look, I had to go deal with the pawn shop. He had to pawn things to get cash out to pay people. And that's fine. I mean, everyone has their vehicle through which they get money however they need to get it. I said, is this what's holding you up? He said, yeah, I gotta go ahead and pay them and kind of play this game with them. And he said, by the way, they're charging me a ridiculous interest rate, as they do, pawn shops do. I said, fine. Why don't I just loan you the $1,500? You pay them off, and then instead of you paying this 20% or whatever the ridiculous loan was, do a couple jobs around my house for interest, and we'll be done. He says, fine, look, here's the deal. Give me the $1,500 now. I'll give you $500 a week for the next 3 weeks as these other jobs close out, and we're fair and square. So I said, fine, you go work other jobs as well. Come over to my house, do what you need to do.
Go work those other jobs.
Get the money from that and pay me back.
$500 a week.
For the next 3 weeks.
Okay, let me ask you something. When he gave you this $1,500, did you ever go back and finish the work in the bathroom?
Every time I went back, I had to do the jobs that he required for interest.
But I'm just asking
Those
you,
came
from
before
that
the
day
bathroom
to
got
this
finished.
day, from that day to this day.
I went back to finish. He needed other things for me to do instead of finish.
Oh, instead of the bathroom, you did other work around the house.
I went back a couple times. He had a clogged drain. I went back. He said, you know what? I'd rather have the timer hooked up for the pool lights.
At some point, you stopped going over there,
Yeah.
right? And this relationship ended. Why is that?
That Monday, he said, will you pay me Friday? I said, sure. I'm thinking it's a $500 payment Friday. Well, when Wednesday comes around, I get a text that evening telling me, you gonna be here Friday to pay me? I said, sure am. And then he says, all 1,200? I was like, all 1,200? I'm 7 short. You wanted 5 at first, but now you're calling in all of it a day before?
So that's
Friday,
why you stopped
don't expect
going
to
over
see
there
me.
because you didn't have the money to pay him?
No, because then when Friday came along, I was out trying to work extra jobs to get him all of it, do it as best I could to get it all for him. Saturday morning came around, and I woke up to a text saying, no wonder people think what they think about you, blah, 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 and, more or less talking down to me. And I'm like, well, if that's the case, then,
So that was the disrespect you said.
I told him, I said, don't
you.
talk down to me and I will pay you. I've told him that every text I've sent him. Stop talking down to me, stop belittling me, stop insulting me, and I will pay you.
But you know, the best way. Do you know the best way to stop someone from texting you or talking down to you, as you say, is to just pay them the money that you owe.
And I have no problem doing that until you say, or else. And then I say,
or else? Or you mean he threatened you?
He said, or else I'll take you to court. I said, see you in
or
court.
else he'll take
He
you
taught
to court.
me that.
Or else he'll take you to court. That's not a threat, sir. That's that he's just
Exactly.
saying he will exercise his right
That's
to
correct.
pursue this legally.
And I will see you there.
Okay, so what is your defense then? Your defense is you felt like he insulted you.
Coming up, the issue of interest on the loan is called into question.
There wasn't a specified amount of interest.
There was a specified amount.
I just asked you how much interest, and you said there's no set amount. So how does he know how much work he's supposed to be doing for how much interest on this loan?
And later, Colorado roommates battle over unpaid bills.
So he was down on his luck. He didn't have a place to live, and he wasn't working. How are you expecting him to pay $600 a month?
Because he just got a job.
Plaintiff Scott Smith says Tommy took advantage of their friendship. He's suing for a personal loan, unfinished work, and attorney fees. Defendant Tommy Ussery says he owes nothing because Scott was disrespectful.
When you went back and you were doing things around his house, was the agreement that work would be to pay off this $300 in interest he was charging you?
There wasn't a specified amount of interest.
There was a specified amount. Actually, some of those jobs that I was doing.
I want to make sure I understand this. So he was supposed to do work around the house to pay off what exactly?
Instead of paying the 25% interest that he's paying every week or every month at the pawn shop.
You asked him to do extra things around your house in exchange for interest on the loan that you gave him.
Right.
I just asked you how much interest, and you said there's no set amount.
We've had a very, 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 it was very, everything was very informal.
You're a tax attorney. You deal with numbers all day. You can't even tell me how much interest you were charging him so he could know how much interest he's working off?
I'm saving him money no matter what he does.
One thing that I am concerned about, do you have a proof that you paid someone? How did you pay this receipt that you gave me? Because this is a computer printout.
Right.
Computer-generated document.
I always get cash when I can, so it's probably cash.
I love how I have a tax attorney in my courtroom with the worst evidence I've probably ever seen. You have no written contract for this loan.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And Mr. Smith, you know you come into court and tell me it's not required by law. Of course, it's not required. Oral contracts are completely enforceable, but you have the burden of proof in your case, so you're just fortunate enough that he came in and said, hey, well, you know, he did loan me the money.
May I interject 1 second? May I approach?
No. And then you want money for attorney's fees. Sir. Don't tell me you're asking for your own fees.
100%.
You understand that this is small claims court.
I understand exactly
right?
where we are.
So you cannot be represented by an attorney when you come in here. Just because you are an attorney doesn't mean you can charge for yourself, sir. When did this contractor finish your bathroom?
2 months ago, maybe? I let it sit for a while. That he could have come by and done it anytime he wanted to.
And on the flip side of that, sir, you admit that you didn't finish up painting the baseboards and all the trim in the bathroom, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, okay, and so based on the evidence, you're the one that stopped the communication when he started asking you to pay him back all of the money, and if you didn't have it or you felt like he was disrespecting you, that's not a legal defense for you not paying back money that's due to the plaintiff. So how much of the $1,500 did you pay back?
I gave
How much did he pay back, sir?
$100-something.
$300 total.
You can't, Mr. Smith, have someone working around your house for interest without telling them how much that interest is going to be. Because as you know, there's only a certain amount of interest you can charge for personal loans. See, you know it. You know the law. Based on all the testimony I've heard here today, sir, and your admission in court that you borrowed this money and agreed to pay it back, you're going to have to pay back the plaintiff. I find your defense of him disrespecting you to be insufficient. $1,200, that's how much you owe on the loan, in addition to the $250 he paid to have the bathroom finished. That's a total judgment in the plaintiff's favor in the amount of $1,450. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you. I think the judge was fair. I'm a little disappointed that she didn't give me attorney's fees.
It was fair. I mean, I knew it wasn't legal to tell him that just because he disrespected me, I wasn't going to pay him. But if you tell me or else, show me the or else.
Plaintiff Robin Gray says she loaned the defendant money because she was trying to help him out. She's suing for back rent, phone bills, food, car damages, and car payments. Defendant Mike Gomez says he doesn't owe because Robin is a scam artist with a history of extorting money from her roommates, and there is no agreement in writing.
Robin Gray,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are suing the defendant Mike Gomez
Yes.
for $8,399. You say he owes you for several things: back rent, food, household expenses, phone bills. You say you paid his probation, you paid for car damages, you've paid car payments for him, and it's totaled over $8,000 over the last few years, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, why don't you tell me how you know the defendant and what's going on here?
Approximately about 2012, a mutual friend of ours called and asked about him needing a roommate, asking me if I needed a roommate, and he was just down on his luck, so I agreed to say, come on, yeah, you can rent my basement. I give you a few months to get on your feet, and then you got to start paying rent. Well,
Who was living with you at the time?
me and my children.
How many children?
2.
How old are they?
They're 11 and 9.
Okay.
And during the time, he was having a hard time down on his luck. He was between jobs. He'd work.
What's in the basement? A bedroom or a total separate living area?
Just an unfinished basement. We put down a bed. I made sure there was bed, there was cable, there was couches. He still had
And
the
you weren't at
collection.
all concerned about a man you don't know moving into your house with your 2 young kids?
The mutual friend that we had, I've known for years and really trusted that, and
You trusted your mutual friend?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what was the agreement in terms of rent?
That he would pay for rent, food, personal items.
How much a month?
$600 a month.
Okay, and did you put that in writing or was it just a verbal agreement?
At the time, I did not put it in writing. It was a verbal agreement.
Okay, so tell me what was going on with you at the time.
At the time, I did have a job.
What were you doing for work?
I was a supervisor at a warehouse.
At any point, did you fall behind on your rent?
Yeah, I did.
And that was in 2013?
Yes.
So in 2013, at this point, he's falling behind on his rent. He doesn't have a lot of money. He's up and down in the job market. Am I correct? How do you then loan him over $2,800 for a cell phone bill, the home phone bill? You pay his probation he was arrested for a DUI?
Yes, ma'am.
You pay that as well, you claim. You pay over $1,900 for damages to his car. I just don't understand why you say you're lending him all of this money when this is clearly someone who's broke.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the former roommates find out the hard way not to mix money with friendship.
I was trying to help him out, and he was good with my kids, and he was really good. I really thought it was gonna really work out.
If he wasn't working, how were you expecting him to pay $600 a month?
Plaintiff Robin Gray says Mike is a user who owes her money. She's suing for back rent, phone bills, food, car damages, and car payments. Defendant Mike Gomez says he doesn't owe because Robin is trying to extort money from him.
So he was down on his luck. He didn't have a place to live. And he wasn't working. How were you expecting him to pay $600 a month?
Because he just got a job. That's why I gave him 2 months to sit there and try to get on his feet so that he could eventually pay me.
Okay.
He did start paying, but at the time, he ended up being 2 to 3, 4 months behind because I was trying to help him out. And he was good with my kids, and he was really good. I really thought it was gonna really work out.
What happened with the DUI?
I got stopped for DUI.
Yeah,
I did.
okay.
Well, I did 30 days in jail, and then I had to pay fines.
You pled guilty to the DUI?
I did.
Was it your first DUI?
Yeah, second one.
The second one?
Yes.
You spent 30 days in jail. Was your license taken away?
It was.
And why did you pay the fines?
Because I figured if he worked and got on his feet, that he would pay me. And so I kept thinking in my mind that, he's trying, he's gonna come up with the money, he's going to. When he got the DUI, I thought, okay, if I help get his license back, that means he can go to work, that means he can pay me.
If someone gets a DUI, I would never in a million years pay the fine for them. You know why? Because they have to learn their lesson about drinking and driving. That's not on you to pay that. Why would you pay that? It's his second DUI. His second DUI, he's in jail. You pay your own fine.
Right.
What happened with the car? What's your reason now for loaning him money for a car? It's 2015 at this point. He hasn't paid you back. It's not your responsibility to find a way for him to be able to go to work. He's a grown man. You have 2 children. The reason why I'm coming down on you about this is because you have 2 kids that you have to take care of, and you cannot take the responsibility for a grown man for over the course of over 2 years. He doesn't have a steady income or a steady job, and he gets a DUI. He's drinking. He has time to hang out with his buddies. Once I could understand you helping him out, but continuing to do this, you have to own some of the responsibility of this for yourself. How does he owe you $215 for a loan and the check bounced?
He wrote me a check, and he stopped payment and it bounced. Yes.
Why'd you do that?
She took the car away, so why should I pay for a car payment that was taken away from me?
So when were you going to send her the money for the other $2,400 that you acknowledge you owe? That was the next check you were going to write?
No, I told her that that what I can afford is I can give her $100 a month, and she didn't want to go. She just said no. You know, I'm offering to pay it back.
Yeah.
That's what I can afford. So
and she's turning it down. She's told you, I don't want you to pay me $100 a month. That's not good enough. So in your mind, to you, that says, looks like I'm good.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
She's turning down the money. At this point, you are stuck between a rock and a hard place. Okay.
No, I
That's
never
what you're
said
thinking?
that.
Because
No.
if she said that to you, you know why she said that to you? Because she's telling you that's not enough. That's not enough of an effort. Did you tell him that?
I didn't. I told him that it's not enough of money to pay.
Look at there. So what you gonna do, Mr. Gomez? You owe her money. What's your defense for not paying it?
I was offering to give her
Have you
what I
given her
could.
any money since you stopped the payment on this check?
No, I haven't.
There you go. Doesn't look like you're paying it, sir. Doesn't look like you're even trying to pay it. The last attempt you made to give her money, you stopped payment on the check. So here's what we're gonna do. Obviously, you're not gonna be awarded over $8,000 here today because you know you already made the agreement, right? We're here today because you haven't lived up to your part of the agreement, and that's what I'm here to deal with. You understand?
Right.
Okay. Now, what you want to do is you want me to go back through 2 years of household expenses, food, phone bills. I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to deal with the things that we dealt with in court today because, you know, you have to take some responsibility in this as well because at some point when someone is not paying you back and you keep giving them money and you say, oh, because I want him to continue working, you have to make a judgment call, right? This is someone who has a debt. He's not paying it back. I should not be giving him more money. So you have to take your part and your responsibility in this too because as they say, you don't throw good money after bad. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So here's what we're going to do. The 2 expenses that we covered here today that he concedes he owes for, one of those being back rent and includes the household expenses because the way you lump the rent together, and the second being the fine for the DUI. So I'm going to award you a judgment today, ma'am, for a total of $2,400. Judgment for the plaintiff, $2,400. Good luck.
I want to say to Mike that I hope you learn that you can't take advantage of people and of good gestures, and I hope that you do better in your own life.
Sorry for whatever happened, and it is, you know, for the outcome and everything, and I'm glad you're happy with what you got.
Today on Judge Faith, a tenant disagrees with his landlord about the condition of a New Orleans shotgun home.
So when I went inside, that's when I saw all these open containers of food and beer bottles and just, it was a mess.
I was just kind of in a rough place, bachelor. There's all kinds of chicken boxes and beer bottles and whiskey bottles laying around. It's just, I mean, you caught me at a bad time. It's not illegal to do these things in my home.
I don't think she's saying you're a terrible person. You're just messy.
And later, a fight between foster dogs ends in a battle between former friends.
I actually had pulled both the dogs into the pool, and then immediately one of the dogs jumped out of the pool, Mojo, and was on the edge of the pool barking at me and mostly at Titus, the other dog, trying to basically bite him again.
And I didn't want to go down there because I had been bitten prior 3 weeks before that. He bit me in my chest right here with 2 puncture wounds, which I had 5 stitches.
You weren't wary about intervening in this situation because you'd already been bitten by the dog before?
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Virginia A. Bear says the defendant trashed her historic shotgun home and broke her no pets policy. She's suing for damages to a rental home. Defendant Drew Hawkins says he doesn't know because he left the house in decent condition, and Virginia is just trying to get a remodel on his dime.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Abear versus Hawkins.
Thank you, Juan. Virginia Abear?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing the defendant, Drew Hawkins?
Yes, ma'am.
For $1,083, damages you say he caused to a home he rented from you?
Yes, ma'am.
In the New Orleans area?
Yes.
The two of you entered into a 1-year lease on March 14, 2014.
Right.
So why don't we start from the beginning and you tell me what happened?
Okay, so Drew moved in, like you said, March 14th, 2014, and everything was going well. Whenever there was an issue, like I know the AC had gone out, we got that
How much did he pay
resolved.
for rent and how much did he pay for security deposit?
$875 for rent, $875 security deposit.
And Mr. Hawkins, where were you living prior to moving in this home, sir?
I had just finished my undergrad in Baton Rouge, LSU, so right off campus in Baton Rouge. I started work that January, and actually right when I graduated, I moved to my parents' house. I wanted to get into New Orleans as quickly as possible, and I found a really good work in a law firm out there. And,
You went to law school?
I have not gone to law school. I've done everything. I've gotten letters of rank and LSAT and everything. It's a future possibility thing. But I wanted to get into that neighborhood, and I walked with the realtor down to the house, saw it, and was like, yeah, this is definitely, let's do this.
Okay, did you submit any photos of the home?
Yes, ma'am. In fact,
May
I
see
have one
them,
right
please?
here. Yes. So there's a picture of the front of the house. Drew lived on the right-hand side of the house.
Okay, you had another tenant on the left-hand side?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's in a historical part of New Orleans. It's in Algiers Point, which is across the river from New Orleans. I acquired the house in 2010, and it was completely it was in bad shape. I ended up ripping the back of the house off, totally redid the inside of it. On both sides, it's a shotgun.
And a shotgun house means when you open the front door, you can see all the way back through the back door.
Correct.
Go straight through, and the rooms are on each side.
Right.
So he moves in March 14th. He's paying the rent on time.
Right.
So what happened in November of 2014?
So then one of the breakers went out. The heater wasn't working correctly, so I had Drew emailed me. I emailed back the same day. All right, I've got my guy that'll come over and take a look at it. And he did. And I said, but are you going to be home to let my guy in? And he said, no. And I said, do I have your permission to go inside and, let him in? And he said, sure. So when I went inside, that's when I saw all these open containers of food and beer bottles, and it was a mess.
Coming up, the pest problem goes from bad to worse.
We're talking about an ongoing, forever issue with roaches.
I immediately got attacked by fleas.
Essentially, me and my neighbor take turns chasing the roaches back and forth.
And later, a dog bite brings former roommates to court.
He was trying to separate his 2 dogs.
They were locked like this.
But I jumped in to hold them, and I was holding them away.
Okay, you didn't say that in your statement to the court.
Plaintiff Virginia A. Bear says Drew infested her historic home with roaches and fleas. She's suing for damages to a rental home. Defendant Drew Hawkins says he doesn't know because he kept the house clean enough.
When I actually moved into this place, I moved in with my ex-girlfriend and my daughter, and about a few months before that, she had left, and so I was just kind of in a rough place, bachelor, and a lot of friends over, and she wanted to come over and fix a breaker, and I didn't realize she was going to walk through the house, so there's all kinds of chicken boxes and beer bottles and whiskey bottles laying around. It's just, I mean, you caught me at a bad time. It's not illegal to do these things in my home. It's just that, you know,
But she was concerned because she saw some pests in
there
the
had
home.
been.
Let me see the
Drew
video
had-
you submitted.
Sure.
Tell me what I'm looking at.
Okay, so this is the kitchen. There's a table that he put in the kitchen. We're going around towards the back door where there's the trash, and then you're looking at the countertop and the sink.
So it
Dishes
was
in the
messy,
sink.
and so this was the first cause of concern for you because why?
Drew had said previously that there was a roach issue in the place. So then when I saw how the place looked, I thought, okay, well, of course there's a roach issue. I mean, I'm welcoming him in. So I took the video. I have a file on my computer for my 1-year-old son, and I put on there, this is how you will not live in 20 years.
If I may, that's not how I live. That was post-party. We're talking about an ongoing, forever issue with roaches. Essentially, me and my neighbor take turns chasing the roaches back and forth. You know,
if you have food
obviously,
out like that on a regular, there's roaches.
Your Honor, I don't think it's necessarily fair to judge me on one video from one post-aftermath of a party. I mean, it's easy to do that for anybody at 23 years old, 24 years old, without living on his own and just take posts after a party and just say he's a terrible person. You know,
No, I don't think she's saying you're a terrible person. You're just messy.
Oh, okay. Occasionally, yeah. That's accurate.
So what ends up happening? You go back to the home in May and you found out that there were 2 dogs there?
Okay, right. So in May, he says, well, my girlfriend has 2 dogs. Are you comfortable with this? And I said, look, the lease says no pets. So I said, I think it'd be best if you found somewhere that is pet friendly so that you can take dogs.
I don't know where this affidavit of 2 dogs on my porch comes from. I never had 2 dogs.
But did you ever have the dogs there at the house?
No, the 2 dogs that my girlfriend came with were never there.
Okay. You say otherwise, though.
Okay, right. So I have an email that I had texted and said, there's a no pet policy because my neighbor had said, hey, there's some dogs, you know, hanging out at your place.
So you tell him that, and what's his response?
Yes, sorry, I didn't respond to your text, but I did receive it. I will handle it ASAP.
May I see that, please?
Yes.
Do you remember writing that, sir?
I do, and can I...
So what are you handling ASAP? You just told me there were no dogs there at all at the property.
These weren't the 2. These weren't the 2 dogs that my girlfriend
You're
was
like Olivia
about.
Pope. It's handled.
No, ma'am. I'm sorry. I mean, I know it's fun. It's not exactly what she's talking about. I remember specifically responding to that email, and at that particular moment, I had a brother who went out of town, and I watched his dog for a few days.
Sir, were there dogs at the house or not?
No. Occasionally, I would babysit
so that's
a
yes.
dog.
So that's
no,
yes.
It's not.
The answer is yes.
No, it's not a yes with the 2. Ma'am, I'm sorry, Your Honor. Were there dogs there at any time? Yes.
Okay.
If that's what you want to, what you want to know.
Yes. You plan on going to law school, Mr. Hawkins? You plan on going to law school?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So then you'll understand then this is not a difficult question and it's not a difficult answer. There was an issue with dogs being in the home, sir. I don't really care if it was March or May. You weren't supposed to have them there.
Okay.
So he has dogs on the property. We have that established. What happens when it's time for him to move out? Why did you keep his security deposit, and why are you suing for more damages?
Because of the way the place was left.
How was it left?
When I when I walked in, I immediately got attacked by fleas on me. So I'm going through the place, taking pictures. I have a picture of what the floor looked like.
May I see the photos?
Yes. The top picture is what the floor looked like.
And did you take any video footage?
Yes.
Let me see the video you submitted, ma'am.
The toilet bowl has been cleaned and scrubbed along with the seat. And the tub is peeling.
Okay, is this video after the home was cleaned?
Yes.
Why does the toilet look like this? Show him that photo. What is that?
May I comment on that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Both the toilet. I know exactly what it looks like. I lived there for a year.
I was going to show you.
Yeah. The toilet bowl and the sink and the bathtub. All of them looked exactly like that when I first moved in.
And it wasn't. You said it was chipping while you were living there.
It was
chipping. Did you ever tell her about that? Did you have a conversation about it?
No, I didn't know. I didn't make the connection that it was that big of a deal.
Why do you think that he owes for your installation of a brand new toilet and sink in the bathroom?
There is no way I would sit on that toilet even after it was cleaned.
Do you have a photo of what it looked like before he moved in?
No, I don't.
If you're going to charge a resident to buy a new sink and a new toilet, I would want to see a photo of what it looked like of the bathroom before he moved in.
They were white.
So here's what we're going to do. Based on the proof that you submitted to the court and the receipts of things you've had to pay for, I'm going to order the defendant to pay you for those things, not for the new sink, not for the new toilet, because you don't have proof of what those things looked like prior to him moving in, and I'm not satisfied that he's responsible for paint chipping from the bathtub. Judgment for the plaintiff, $750. Good luck.
I feel totally satisfied with that. I came in here knowing that she was going to get a fair amount of my security deposit. I just didn't want to buy her a new bathroom.
When he moved in, he had a fiance, and they have a little baby girl together. Didn't work out between them, so it unfortunately didn't work out for my property either.
Plaintiff Dolores Delgado says a defendant's foster dog attacked her. She's suing for hospital bills and pain and suffering. Defendant Rodney Davis says he doesn't know because Dolores wasn't injured during the dog fight, and it was her decision to jump into the pool to save the dogs.
Dolores Delgado?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant Rodney Davis?
Yes.
For $10,000, you say he owes you for hospital bills and pain and suffering as a result of a dog bite that happened back in 2013.
Yes.
So I understand that you lived with the defendant for a while in a roommate situation.
Right.
Okay, tell me what happened.
The morning that it happened, he was, I had heard the fighting from upstairs. The two dogs, his two dogs were fighting. And
What kind of dogs do you have, sir?
They were both American Bulldogs.
How long did you have them?
They were actually foster care dogs, which we had had for about 2 months.
Okay, let me see a photo of the dog. Okay. And so what happened on the date in question?
The date in question is...
You heard them fighting downstairs?
Yeah, I heard the fighting, and I didn't want to go down there because I had been bitten prior, 3 weeks before that, from the same dog. So when I went downstairs, he was in the middle of the fight. They were fighting. He was trying to separate his two dogs. They were in the back of the patio fighting, and he was trying to get him into the pool.
Why were you trying to get him into the pool?
Well, I was trying to break them up, Your Honor. They were locked like this, and the only way I could get them apart was to pull them across the whole patio into the pool.
Well, when I came downstairs, they were outside with a scuffle, so when he'd asked for help to get him into the pool, I didn't want to get anything because I'd been bitten by the dog.
He asked you for help to get the dogs in the pool, is that true?
No, Your Honor. I actually had pulled both the dogs into the pool, and then immediately one of the dogs jumped out of the pool, Mojo, and was on the edge of the pool barking at me and mostly at Titus, the other dog, trying to basically bite him again.
Okay, go ahead.
When I came downstairs, the dogs were not in the pool yet. So that's where I came up with the lawn chair to push the one from the back end. So they fell into the pool. The one got out onto the stepway. He was holding on to Titus, the white one that you've seen in the picture of. So that's when he had asked me if I could help him hold it, or hold the dog to get into the pool, which I didn't know if he was going to bite me again, but I jumped in to hold him, and I was holding him away, and that's when the dog turned.
Okay, you didn't say that in your statement to the court.
Coming up on Judge Faith, missing medical bills call the costs of the dog bite into question.
Let me see your medical
I don't
bills.
have any medicals. They haven't sent them to me.
I'm sorry?
No, I haven't paid anything in medical bills.
Do they not exist?
Yeah, they exist.
I'm sorry. Are we talking about the same case?
Plaintiff Dolores Delgado says Rodney's foster dog attacked her. She's suing for hospital bills and pain and suffering. Defendant Rodney Davis says he doesn't know because Dolores wasn't injured during the dog fight.
You said that you went downstairs, you saw that he was having a hard time, and you helped him push the dogs in the water, and you fell in.
No, I didn't fall in. He wanted to get out of the pool to get the other one
I'm just
on the
saying in your
leash,
statement, you never said in your statement to the court that he asked for your help. At what point did you jump in the pool?
Right after to get the help to separate them.
You weren't wary about intervening in this situation because you'd already been bitten by the dog before?
I was scared.
So were you injured? What happened?
He bit me in my chest right here with 2 puncture wounds, which I had 5 stitches.
Did you see the dog bite her?
No, I didn't. I actually jumped out of the water, took the other dog and contained that dog and put him in a yard. I don't know whether the dog scratched her or bit her or whatever, but...
When did you learn that she had a complaint about a dog?
I heard her say, oh, something bit me or whatever, and she jumped out of the pool, and I just saw her running to the house. I really didn't see any incident.
You went to the hospital that day?
He took me to the hospital.
You took her to the hospital that day?
I don't even remember, to be honest with you. I may have dropped her off, so she couldn't have been that serious if I took her.
Was there an ambulance call?
Yeah, the ambulance came and he volunteered to take me in.
So you didn't go in the ambulance?
No, I didn't.
Let me
because
see your
he
medical bills.
I don't have any medical. They haven't sent them to me, so.
I'm sorry? It's been 2 years. What do you mean they haven't sent them to you? It's been 2 years.
It probably went to his house. My lawyer has a lot of
This is your day in court. You're suing for $10,000. This was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Do they not exist?
No, they exist. I went in.
You don't have a single
bill?
All You're suing for medical bills.
All I have is when I went in. That's all I have here of the punctures. So as far as the bills go, no.
May I see that, please?
Yeah, here.
I want give me the folder. Show me what you
Okay,
have.
here.
Give me the entire folder of evidence. How much do you say you were out of pocket?
Right now, no, I haven't paid anything in medical bills. I haven't paid anything.
I'm sorry.
Because their
are
bill
we
is-
talking about the same case?
I just have a lawyer right now, so.
This is you don't. This is small claims court. You understand there are no lawyers allowed in small claims court. When you come to small claims court, you agree to represent yourself. And you really had one job here today, and that is just to bring your evidence.
I can get the papers
Because you
in
live in
time.
California, and California has very strict rules about dog bites. Strict liability state, which means if your dog bites someone, you are responsible. But I can't, so there's the issue of liability. I think the dog bit you. But then there's the issue of damages, and you have no proof of your damages, but you're suing for $10,000,
the proof
and it's
just
been
going
2
in.
years. And it just seems odd that you would bring this up 2 years. When was the first time you approached him about this
Well,
lawsuit?
I haven't been able to reach him. We've been trying to contact him for a year, and he hasn't contacted us back.
You knew where he lived?
No, I didn't. He moved.
Well, right after this incident, you knew where he lived?
No. Well, right there, and then and there, I was already getting a lawyer at this time, which took time to go through it.
You're the owner of the home, right, sir?
No, I'm not. I was a tenant as well.
You were subleasing
Yes.
to everyone else in the home, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you were basically running a house that you didn't own and watching dogs that weren't yours either.
They were foster care dogs. That's correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Delgado, I don't know what you want me to do. Do you want me to guess? You want me to speculate? You want me to just pull a number out of a hat? I need you to bring to court your evidence. I just don't understand how you show up 2 years later and you don't have any evidence.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
You're suing for medical bills and $8,900 in pain and suffering. You have no proof that you told me you got 5 stitches. That does not amount to over $8,000 in pain and suffering. The fact that you actually did suffer a dog bite, and I don't think the defendant contests that, I'm going to order him to pay you $1,000 in pain and suffering, but I can't order him to pay you any more than that because you simply have insufficient proof. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000.
Rodney, take care of your dogs and take care of the people around you, and I pray for you.
I don't think I owed her any money, and the judgment is what it is, but I will continue to do what I need to do for animals.
Today on Judge Faith, a family feud over a stolen dog pits sister against sister-in-law.
I told her when she married my brother that he wasn't the right person to marry because he's 10 years older than her, and he only wanted her for money.
She's saying about being married, but you're married to a man for 20 years, and he never worked, but he's living off of your Social Security check.
Okay, so we haven't established that you guys don't like each other's husbands. I got it.
And later, buddies get into a battle over an illegal auto sale.
He had sent me a letter saying you're forgetting who I'm related to.
I'm not hiding anything. I left all my evidence.
You know the dog ate my homework doesn't work anymore,
Yeah, I
right?
know.
You should have stopped using that when you were 12.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Patricia Blanton says the defendant lied to the police and got her arrested. She's suing for a refund of a bail bond and emotional distress. She's accompanied in court today by Angela Poindexter. Defendant Angela Walker says she owes nothing because Patricia got herself arrested for assaulting the defendant's husband. She's countersuing for a refund for room and board. She's accompanied in court today by Terry Dalton.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Blanton versus Walker.
Thank you, Juan. Patricia Blanton?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing the defendant, Angela Walker?
Yes, ma'am.
For $3,000, you say she owes you for having you falsely arrested, and you want her to return the amount of money you paid a bail bondsman?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're suing also for emotional distress?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are countersuing for $5,000 for room and board?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Blanton, let's start with you. Tell me what's going on here. How do you know the defendant?
You know, Your Honor, I know the defendant since 2000 when she met one of my brothers. She ultimately ended up marrying one of my brothers.
Okay.
I told her when she married my brother that he wasn't the right person to marry because he's 10 years older than her. And he only wanted her for money and what he can get from her.
Okay. How long have you been married?
8 years.
8 years.
But can I say
How
something
long
for
have they
that?
been
Because she's
separated? Every
saying
month.
she's saying about being married, but you're married to a man for 20 years and he never worked, nothing. But you know, he's living off of your Social Security check.
Okay, so we haven't established that you guys don't like each other's husbands. I got it. Let's go back for a second. You say that you loaned him $100 to get her a Christmas gift. And what happens?
He said he had a dog that she was selling for $50 that I wanted because I love dogs. He said he wasn't going to sell the dog for $50. He took me by the house. I said, I'll give you $70 for the dog. I brought the dog.
Whose dog was it?
My dog.
Hers and my brother's.
So he said he would sell you a dog
for $70.
For $70.
I gave him the $70. Okay, we went back to my house. We was playing a game called Black and Red. He lost $100 from me. He went to the car and got the $70 that I gave him for the dog. He lost the $70. He got mad because he began to growl.
You were winning.
Yeah, I won all his money. He had to go home with no dog and no money. So I had a little small pool stick like this. Every time he came towards me, I hit him because he threw me against my niece, which was 9 months pregnant. She was almost getting ready to have her baby, which made her have her baby 2 weeks later.
He took you and threw you into her?
Yeah, and the door hit my niece in the stomach, causing her to have her baby.
Step up. Step over. What did you witness? You were there? Were you playing
Yes,
games?
I was. No, I wasn't playing. I was.
Was
pregnant.
anyone drinking?
Yes.
They were
Who was
drinking. I
drinking?
wasn't drinking.
We was drinking. Both of us
How
was
much had you had to drink?
We had a fistful of liquor. It was me, my brother, my husband, my other niece, and it was about 7 people. We was drinking the fistful of liquor. Me and my brother was playing cards.
How many drinks did you have?
Probably about 3, because I was getting ready to eat.
Were you drunk?
No, because I
You were
just came-
tipsy.
Maybe tipsy. But I was afraid. I wasn't drunk no more until he picked me up and threw me across the room.
What did you witness?
I witnessed her give him the money for the dog, and I witnessed him lose all his money for the dog to my aunt. And he got mad and started growling like a dog, like she said, and threw her across the room and pushed me into a doorknob that hit me on the side of my stomach.
So you say he threw you
threw
into her?
into me.
And what happened after that?
I went to my room and called the police. My
Did they
children
come?
was there.
Did
They
they come?
came. I was in my room at the time. My Aunt Patricia told the police to leave, that everything was fine, because she didn't want my uncle to get arrested for another DWI because he had
Were you
several.
there? I have the police report.
I'm just saying.
You weren't there, right?
No, I was at work.
What do you know about this?
The only thing I know is what I was called. He called me and said that she beat him up, she took the dog, she took the money. Like I said, I don't.
So why
say
you didn't
that
call
that's
and ask what
discredited.
happened?
I'm not saying that didn't
Hold on
happen.
a second.
What I'm
You can have a
saying
seat.
is,
You can have a seat.
when I made it home, he had blood on my bed. He was laying on the bed, on his back. His arm was swollen up 4 times, and he's skinny. So we called the ambulance. He didn't want to go, but they said they had to report it because of his injuries. They thought his arm was broke. So we told them what happened. That's when they went and picked her up and arrested her for aggravated assault.
So
you're taken to jail.
Yes.
And you're charged with aggravated assault.
Yes.
What happens?
I spent 3 days in jail. I bonded out. I couldn't get a public defender. They appointed me a real lawyer. The real lawyer talked to Angela and everyone else in the case.
Public defenders are real lawyers, by the way.
Okay, the paid lawyer.
They're real lawyers in Tennessee, too, in your state as well.
Yes, the paid lawyer talked to everybody in the case. Ted knew that what he had did, and he was afraid that he was going to be charged with more charges for hitting this pregnant woman in the stomach, so he never came to court.
It's not unusual for the alleged victim in the case not to show up to court and not to testify against their relative. That happens in almost every domestic case, right, Juan?
Absolutely.
You say that you were falsely arrested and charged, and you have your version of what happened. Where is he? Why isn't he here?
I have no idea.
Who are you, ma'am?
I'm her mother.
Do you want to stand up and walk over?
Well, Your Honor, I'm here today because when the incident occurred, my daughter called me, and I'm asking, what did you have to do with that when you was at work?
Mm-hmm.
The ambulance was the one that called the police, so why is she trying to sue you? I mean, if she's going to sue somebody, it should have been her brother and not you.
Yeah, why have you brought this claim against her? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Why have you brought this claim against her?
Why I'm suing Angela? Because I feel that I didn't steal a dog. I won the dog playing cards. If Angela had just picked up the telephone and asked what had happened, when nobody had been arrested, because anyway, my brother should have been the one that was arrested because he's the one who did everything wrong.
Can I hold on a second? Hold on a second. Let me look at this police report. You didn't tell them that he had assaulted you and thrown you against the wall and thrown you into her. You told the police that you'd gotten into a fight with him and you didn't want to press charges.
Because I didn't want him to be arrested for assault.
Well, this is the record, but now you're telling me something completely different than what you told the police that night. And like I said, people do this. They don't want to see their family members arrested and put in jail. You don't press any charges, but you want to sue him and get them to pay you money.
Coming up, how bad was the family fight?
If they believe that an assault has taken place, of course they're going to go and arrest you.
And later, a used car sale gets contested in court.
Well, he told me he's not paying me anymore because...
Why though? What did he tell you?
Because somebody in his family doesn't like me.
Plaintiff Patricia Blanton says Angela got her arrested. She's suing for a refund of a bail bond and emotional distress. Defendant Angela Walker says she owes nothing because Patricia got herself arrested. She's countersuing for a refund for room and board.
Here's what happened, and this is what happens in these domestic cases. She called the police, and when they arrived at her home, according to the police report, they saw on the report that he had serious injuries to his arms and to the back of his head. When they asked him what happened, he stated that you were the person that caused these injuries by hitting him with a metal pipe. At that point, they're not going to ignore this. So of course they're going to go and arrest you. They're not just going to look the other way when they see that someone has serious injuries on them.
But
No, because no.
Let me explain
because it's a big, because
ma'am.
now you want to sue for money damages.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't want to press charges. You tell the police that nothing happened, that
At
the two
that
of you
time,
engaged in mutual combat.
At that time,
but
nothing had
now
happened.
you want to come into court and sue the wrong person, by the way. Sue the wrong person. She's not the one.
The police
She's not the one.
She called the police.
No, she's not the one. She may have made a phone call. She may have made a phone call, but clearly he's the one that told the police what happened because she wasn't there.
Okay.
What is your counterclaim about?
Her and her husband lived with me from the year 2009 to 2013. Never paid anything.
Okay, so this is a retaliatory claim because they sued you. Your counterclaim is dismissed, ma'am, but you have no basis. You have not proved to me that they filed a false report, especially this woman. If your brother were here, that case would be dismissed as well. I cannot help you, ma'am. You have not proved your case. Judgment for the defendant.
How can she go around defaming my name talking about I stole a dog? I never stole her dog.
The dog was sold.
The dog was sold. See,
Stop gambling. I'm just glad it's done so they can leave me alone. I've been trying to leave this family for the last 2 years and they keep bringing me back.
Plaintiff Andres Garcia says the defendant bought a car from him and then suddenly stopped payments. He's suing for the balance of a car. Defendant Moises Ponce says he doesn't owe any money because Andres sold him a car that wasn't legally tagged and registered.
Andres Garcia?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant, Moises Ponce,
Yeah, Ponce.
for $1,200, the balance you say he owes you on a car that he purchased from you.
Correct, Your Honor.
Tell me what happened.
Well, I had met Ponces around 2012. I met him through mutual friends. I would see him around parties here and there.
Okay,
So,
let
I
me see
mean,
the
I-
photos you submitted to court. You wanted to prove to me that you were friends?
Yeah.
Okay, so there you are with the thumbs up sign. That is
tight.
proof. Okay.
So in around March 2015, I got this job in a furniture company,
Mhm.
moving furniture. And I seen Moises right there.
So, and this car that you sold to him, was it a car that you were driving at the time?
I did before.
What kind of car is it?
A BMW.
What year?
94.
1994 BMW. Let me take a look at it. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, that's the one.
She comes over to you, and what conversation do you have about the car?
I put new wheels on it, just pretty much saying all nice things about the car.
Mm-hmm. And so you then decide you're going to buy it, and what does he offer to sell it to you for?
1,500.
Yeah,
Okay, and the two of you didn't enter into a written agreement. You just did a thumbs up sign and said, "This is how we're going to do it."
The thing was, Your Honor, I wrote out a contract. I wrote out a contract saying that I was going to buy this vehicle. I
Oh,
don't
you
know-
did? Okay, well, let me see the
I don't know if
contract.
he has. Do you have it with you?
Yeah, it's right here.
One, would you hand that? Thank you. Okay, so handwritten contract, and you say in the contract you agree that you will buy the BMW for a price of $1,500. You'd pay him $300 on June 16th and $500 on June 26th and $700 on July 16th.
Correct.
So it was 3 installments that you were supposed to make. So you paid the $300
Yes.
to him, but you never paid the rest of the payments, and that's why he's suing you for $1,200. So what happens? He gives you the $300. You decide to go ahead and turn over the car and the paperwork to him?
Yeah, I gave
What
him
paperwork do you give him?
the registration and the bill of sale.
Or when do you first learn that he's not going to pay you any more money?
I've been patient with him. I gave him a couple extra weeks.
Okay.
So he stopped replying. He stopped answering my calls.
Well, did he tell you why?
No, not until
Yeah, I
I
did.
not until I ran into him at
In
the,
person?
Yeah, in
And
person.
what happens?
Well, he told me he's not paying me anymore because
Why though? What did he tell you?
because somebody in his family doesn't like me.
What do you mean?
Someone in his family doesn't like
He
me.
said those words to you. Someone in my family doesn't like you,
Yeah,
so I'm
that's-
not
that
paying
was
you
his
for this car.
excuse.
Nah,
Is
someone in
there
my
someone
family.
in your family that doesn't like him?
Well, in a way, but he also told me not to pay him due to what was going on. I bought the vehicle, right? I was like, okay, it's good. And I got pulled over while I was driving the vehicle
When?
because it had fake tags.
When, sir?
2 weeks after that.
And what happens?
And I got pulled over by a police officer, and he told me that the car hasn't been registered since 2013. And he saw that there's a 2016 sticker on the vehicle.
Okay.
So he put
Is
me
that
out.
true?
No,
Who registered the car last? Did you?
no, I hadn't
Okay.
registered it.
I mean, because one of you is obviously
Yeah,
clearly
obviously.
just outright lying.
Coming up on Judge Faith, a car sale that goes from bad to worse.
He came up to my car. Like, I tried getting in my car. I was like, just leave me alone or whatever.
He had sent me a letter saying you're forgetting who I'm related to.
Who you related to?
Plaintiff Andres Garcia says Moises threatened him when he asked for his money. He's suing for the balance on a car. Defendant Moises Ponce says he doesn't know because Andres sold him a car that wasn't drivable.
What do you say you do when the police tell you that it hasn't been registered and this is the first time you're finding out about this?
I said I just bought the vehicle, and he pulled me out the car, and he saw that there's a 2016 sticker on the vehicle.
Okay.
But it hasn't been registered since 2013. And he kind of let me go in a way. He was like, get that out the way. And then I
Did
just
you
got
do
back.
that?
Yeah.
So you went to
I took it to the smog. It didn't pass smog, Your Honor.
Okay.
And it was the intake manifold on the vehicle was wrong. So I fixed that. I bought that part from BMW, a dealership.
Okay, and so then you tell him, I'm not paying you the rest of
No, I told
of
him
the money."
I'd pay him, but to take out the money that I spent to fix the car to
Did
get
he
it
tell
smog.
you that?
No, he didn't tell me nothing.
He's never told you this?
No.
Let me ask you something. Do you have proof that you took the car and had the smog test done and paid for that?
I didn't bring none of it with me, no, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
I didn't bring none of it with me, Your Honor.
What do you mean you didn't bring any of it with you?
The thing was, I was kind of in a rush to get on the plane over here, and I left
What do you
my
mean
whole
you're getting in a
package.
rush?
That's what. I was kind of in a rush to get on the plane, and I left all my evidence.
You were in a rush to get here, but the only thing you just happened to leave was all your evidence for your case.
Nah, that's just kind of, I'm just here on
You
my
left
work.
your evidence at home.
Yes.
So you literally walked into court today empty-handed?
Yes,
with
Your Honor.
nothing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, how old are you?
18.
Okay, you know the dog ate my homework doesn't work anymore,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
You should have stopped using that when you were 12.
But I'm telling the truth. It's just based on my word.
You don't have any proof because he's telling me he's never heard of any of these things, and then you're telling me you have absolutely no proof of what you're saying. How do you think that looks?
Man, it looks pretty ugly.
Isn't that something? What else do you have to say, sir?
If you look through those documents, I also have a text message from him threatening me too, as well.
Threatening you how?
After I had sent him the letter to go to court, he had sent me a letter saying you're forgetting who I'm related to. But I didn't know what he meant by that.
Okay, you write to him. I do have these text messages. You write to him. What's good? I guess that's the thing that people say now, like Nicki Minaj and Miley Cyrus. What's good? You got my money or what?
Yeah.
And you respond, you're forgetting who I'm related to. Who you related to?
My people. This
Who are
happened
your
after the
people?
altercation at the gas station, Your Honor.
Who are your people?
My people.
What does that mean?
My
'Cause
family.
that sounds like a threat.
He knows who I deal with, and the thing
What
is,
is he
it's
say? What
funny.
are you saying? He knows your family would get it popped off if they need to?
Well, in a way, Your Honor, because he came up to my car. Like, I tried getting in my car. I was like, just leave me alone or whatever.
And said those
in a
things.
way,
But he didn't hit you,
first,
right?
At first, no.
He didn't hit you. All he's asking for is for his money.
And I told him why I wasn't going to give him to him because I really felt like I got set
You
up.
didn't say
And I
that.
told
No,
him-
you didn't say that in
and
the text message. You said you're forgetting who I'm related to.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
What's your version of what happened at the gas station? Did you walk up to him aggressively like he said?
I wouldn't say aggressively. I just walked up to him normally and asked for my money.
How'd you say it?
Where's my money?
You didn't say it like that, did you?
I guess, I mean, if you were in my shoes, you know.
You were upset?
Yeah, you know.
I don't buy your story about you spent all of this money on the car and that's why you're not paying it. Where's the car now?
At my house.
Okay. You're still driving it?
Yeah.
You say the reason that you didn't pay him the remainder of this money is because you had to spend all of this money getting the car up to date. My question for you was simple. Just prove what you're saying to me, because there should be a paper trail at this point of all the things you say you had to do to get the car up to date. And you showed up to court with nothing but the clothes on your back. That's not sufficient, sir. That's not the way things work. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff, $1,200. Good luck to both of you.
I think this money's gonna help a lot for me and my new family.
I should just be more picky about who I do business with and really just revise the paperwork better. And yeah, basically, when I have to something to fight against, bring my evidence and whatnot.